everybody, Kelly here. The most recent podcast episode is called Conquer Your Fear of Public Speaking, and as you might guess, I go through some practical tools and tips that you can use to get your ideas and voice into the world. Now, you can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or you can click the link in the notes below to listen. But in this video, I wanted to add on a little bit to the content from that episode. So there's a lot of value, as you know, in learning how to speak well, in learning how to get your ideas across to other people, and in learning how to influence through your communication skills. Influence, you say? Why, yes, that's a teaser for the next podcast episode. When you're working on building up your public speaking skills, like enunciating clearly or pacing yourself or using gestures and eye contact or using your breath effectively or modifying your tone of voice and your volume and using dramatic pauses, there's a fine line to be aware of that you may not want to cross. You want to work on those things that will help you to be as effective as you can be, of course. But you also need to make sure that you don't lose your special sauce, the you flavored icing on your cake, if you will. It's really easy to fall into this trap of studying how to do public speaking or studying how someone else communicates effectively and losing your own personality in the process. And you don't want to become a copycat of someone else. Now, we've talked before in a previous episode about mimicking and modeling best practices, and if you've listened to that episode, then you know that one of the most important aspects of mimicking and modeling effectively is knowing when to stop mimicking and modeling. Once you've accomplished a level of skill in something by learning from other people, you then need to make it your own. You let yourself shine through those skills, like putting icing on that general skill set of the cake that you've been baking up. Then there will be time at some point to skill up again, and then you mimic and model again at that new level until you're comfortable with those new skills, and then you add that icing on again. So this is something that I want to share with you because I get asked for guidance on public speaking a lot, and my biggest fear is that people will work so hard to be perfect that they lose themselves in the process. When I was working on developing my own public speaking skills, I worked really hard to be as clear as I could, to have the good enunciation and pacing and speed and intonation, and of course, having good, compelling content to share. I got to a point where I felt pretty confident in those specific skills. Now, of course, there's always going to be new stuff to work on, but I got to a point where I felt pretty good about my skill set. Until I started seeing myself on video, and I realized that I make a lot of faces when I talk, and I was not happy about it. I tried to stop making faces. I recorded the same video over and over again, trying to break myself of having an animated face, and it was hard. And it took so much energy and focus away from the other aspects of my speaking that everything was falling apart. So I had conversations with several of my mentors and some trusted friends who've known me for a long time. And when I told them that I wanted to break my face, so to speak, they said, why? Why would you want to stop using your face like you do? That's what makes you interesting to watch. Don't lose that. Don't give it away, because that's who you are. And it's part of what connects people to you and what you're saying. So I hadn't thought of it that way. I was so focused on doing things the professional right way that I hadn't seen that side of it at all. So it's taken some work, and some self-acceptance and some humility and getting over some of my own vanity to try to accept the fact that I do make a lot of faces when I talk. But honestly now I appreciate it because it feels more authentic to me to just let my face do what it's gonna do. It's part of my icing. It's part of my special sauce. So as you develop your public speaking skills and your stage presence or your speaking presence, whether you plan to speak on big stages or whether you just want to speak up confidently in meetings, don't lose yourself in the process of trying to do things the best way or the right way. There will come a point when you get to make the choice of either trying to look and sound like everybody else who has this sort of perfection mode going on, or you can kind of tinker with your own path a little bit and say, yeah, this is who I am. And as long as you're still effective, as long as you're getting your message across in a way that other people are understanding and resonating with, that's the really important part. There, I think, is a joy to be found in allowing our own personalities to shine through. So for all of you who are working on your public speaking skills and you're maybe trying to develop a sort of a persona or like a perfection, like a news broadcaster or a robot, know that it's going to be a lot more work for you to maintain that in the long run. And there will probably come a point when you feel like you're just not being authentic to yourself. So I want to encourage authenticity in your public speaking and encourage you to slather that icing on top. Whatever your special sauce is, you flavor it the way you want to. All right, everybody, with that, I'm going to make a big goofy grin and sign off. Bye.